Thank you, Chairwoman Capter and Ranking Member Simpson. Pleasure to be here. I'm here on behalf of the constituents of southern Minnesota. My district is one of those rural districts that goes all the way from South Dakota to Wisconsin and then Iowa up about 80 miles. So there's some areas with the Mississippi River that we border with Wisconsin are very important to us in our way of life. First District of Minnesota is one of the top 10 agricultural producing districts in all the nation. And of course, our farmers and agribusinesses rely quite a bit on being able to transport their goods, and a lot of that goes right down the Mississippi River. So I wanted to be here today to talk about what's going on there and to ask for appropriations to make sure that we can maintain the locks and dams in our infrastructure, continue to do the maintenance, to make sure that we have efficient and effective ways of delivering our goods and preserving our way of life. And frankly, it's a national security issue. Where would we be if we couldn't have a vibrant agricultural base and we ended up having to import our food and things of that nature? Would be in big trouble. So it's evident that keeping our nation's waterways transportation system modernized and maintained is essential to our economy and our way of life. I'm before you today to ask and encourage two funding requests with regards to our nation's waterway systems. This system carries about 600 million tons of cargo to and from 38 states, including a significant portion of our nation's agricultural products. However, much of the physical infrastructure of our inland waterways system is aging and critically in need of maintenance. Commercial navigation locks have a design life of about 50 years, and yet over half of the existing locks on our nation's waterways are more than 60 years old. I've met with the mayor of Winona. I've met with the city administrator there, the county officials, people in Houston County, and they can tell you, along with the Army Corps of Engineers, I met with them and Farm Bureau and others, that it's really critical that we continue to maintain the locks and dams and we have our shipping in good shape. I respectfully request the subcommittee to appropriate an Army Corps of Engineers operating and maintenance account funding level of at least $3.74 billion for fiscal year 2020 for the operation and maintenance of activities of the Corps, including those affecting inland and coastal navigation throughout the nation. This appropriation request is the same level signed into law in fiscal year 2019, the Energy and Water Appropriations Bill, and it's my belief that investing in the maintenance of our infrastructure today will benefit taxpayers in the future. Second, I would ask and encourage the subcommittee to provide $10 million in fiscal year 2020 from the investigations account of the Corps of Engineers to continue pre-construction engineering and design for the Navigation and Ecosystem Sustainability Program, Upper Mississippi River and Illinois Waterway System, as authorized in Title 8 of the Later Resources Development Act of 2007. This funding will support continued pre-construction engineering and design funding for already authorized projects at Lock and Dam 25 on the Mississippi River in Missouri and at the LaGrange Lock and Dam on the Illinois Waterway in Illinois. Both projects have been identified as priority authorized projects in the Inland Marine Transportation Systems Capital Projects business model, the Joint U.S. Corps of Engineers Industry Capital Development Plan, and that's all from April 13, 2010. In closing, I'd like to emphasize again the vital role inland waterways play in transporting our nation's commodities in a cost-effective manner. Hardworking southern Minnesota farmers abundantly produce some of the finest agricultural products in all the world. A maintained inland waterway system is critical to their ability to distribute these products to the nation and the world efficiently and effectively, and I encourage my colleagues to appropriately fund those needed monies. And so with that, Madam Chair, thank you for your time, and Ranking Member, happy to answer any questions you might have, and I yield back.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Congressman Hagedorn. And if you have any visuals that you want to submit, we would greatly appreciate those, particularly because you represent a piece of a very long corridor. And I'll just say, when the Corps testified earlier this year, they said that between the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachians, that whole basin has about 42% of the nation's rainfall that fell this past year.
Sure.
Eventually comes down the Mississippi, down to New Orleans, and it was a 125-year high. And we see members from that corridor struggling with their districts and different issues. Levees broke, a lot of things happened. As I've said in prior panels, individual members come here, they talk about the project in their district. I think it'd be really valuable if a leader like yourself could work on a bipartisan basis with members along that corridor, and once we finish many of our formal hearings, could come together to talk about what's happening in the entire corridor. But I think members need to understand what is happening in that corridor. I think you could help in that. You're very savvy. You're paying attention to what's happening in your region. And rather than just having someone come from the northern part, the Red River, let's say, Valley, or down from New Orleans, it'd be really nice to have the representatives from the Mississippi River and Missouri come together here and just have a discussion. I look forward to that once the formal hearings are over, so I just mentioned it to you.
It's a very, very good idea. It's something that I'd like to do and work with the members on a bipartisan basis. And you notice today I mentioned a couple of projects that are far south of the particular
Yes.
district. So we're in this together, and I understand how important it is for the entire
There's so
river to
many
be
choke points.
maintained. Yeah.
Thank you.